Welcome to this lecture on creativity, entrepreneurship, and finding the target market. Our Creotalents Project is part of the Creative Spark British Council initiative. My name is Endrit Kormida. I'm an associate professor in entrepreneurship and innovation at the University of Birmingham. Our project partners in Kazakhstan are Eurasian National University and in the UK, Oxford Brookes University. What is creativity? It is the ability and the skill and the talent to use our imagination to create and solve problems. People work in various areas and industries, in creative industries. Usually they are categorized in 12 groups: advertising, architecture, crafts, design, film, IT, publishing, museums, music, animation, video games, and heritage. But quite often, people have skills that are intercombined. They work across such industries. So, collaboration is essential. How are we creative? The first way we are creative is through our inner selves. Creativity and ideas usually come from our emotions, our feelings, how we reflect on things, our habits, beliefs, memory, thoughts, histories, observations. So how we react to those is usually from our inner parts, and through those we generate creativity. Quite often, this creativity is manifested in our daily lives, more often in artistic activities, and to a limited extent in business activities. How can we be creative in business? Or how can we combine our inner creativity with the business ideas and the business opportunities? That is not easy. For that, we need to take a structured approach to how we engage with the environment. So, the other side is engaging with the environment. And this is where I want you to focus on. I'm sure we are all creative in various ways, and it is beyond this course to teach you how to be creative in your fields of expertise. But how can we translate that into business opportunities, business ideas, business plans, and profit and growth? The first step is research. Research, of course, nowadays starts online. Google, but also libraries and experience. Remembering, going back to our previous experiences, what we know, what we have done. That is our first step to judge whether an idea, something we created, something we feel motivated to do, is worth doing. We compare, we contrast, and we make a decision. We also have some information that we will need at some point in the future to make other decisions. How we bring in the team, how we combine things. After we have done the research, we have a clear idea of what is out there in the environment. The second step is ideation. It has two steps: exploring and planning. I need to say that exploring and planning happen in parallel. We go back and forth. We start exploring something, try and test, plan, see if it works, and perhaps in our plan we realize that it is too difficult to make, not possible, maybe not profitable, maybe not many would want that. So we go back to explore more, or maybe even a further step back to research. Look for more things. How can we find other tools, other resources, other information that we can use? In the ideation process, if we come up with a good idea, a business idea, that is the result of our creativity. Let's say if we are a designer and we have designed something that we want to sell, whether that is a furniture, it is a gadget, it is something for home, a cloth or fashion, we have some ideas, we have a style, let's develop it. Without developing it, it is very difficult to sell. What is clear in our mind, how we perceive our own creativity, it's clear to us, but we need to sell to consumers, to others. And how others feel, see, do, and react to things depends much more on them and a bit less on us. For that, we need to produce. There are two steps in that process, in the developing process. The first is producing, and the second is refining. What does that mean? It means that everything goes through a few iterations. Imagine if you are a game developer. You develop games. The first game that you will build will not be easy to play. Maybe functions don't work well. Maybe players cannot understand how to win or what they need to do. You need to go back, change, refine, adjust. So going back and forth in the development stage helps refining what you are producing. Before, this process used to happen in the lab or with your colleagues in the company. Now more and more in the development process, creative people, creative entrepreneurs try to involve customers, receiving feedback from them. Crowdfunding, for example, is a very good example. When the developed idea is presented to the crowd, and if they fund it, if they commit funding to that, they have a good understanding if they like it or not. On the other hand, the crowd, the people, the potential consumers also contribute with resources, with ideas, with knowledge, with requests, how they want the new product to be. And that is very important for the entrepreneurs, the creative entrepreneur. The final bit is to revise, and that is the critical part. Revising, critiquing, seeing if things work, trying again, and not stopping when we think we have developed something. Try a bit more, and that falls into the area of lateral thinking, which means when we have come up with a solution, why not look for a better solution? Keep thinking, keep doing. This is the creative process. And in this cycle that goes in rounds, more and better creative ideas and business opportunities are created. Keeping the process in mind, let's look at an example. Aygul and Lime, developed by a Kazakh entrepreneur you are probably familiar with. Aygul and Lime brings in the Kazakh tradition in design into the fashion industry. Clothes, products, fabrics. So the emotional, the traditional, the heritage of the Kazakh culture is translated into a business. How is that done? It's done through a combination of social entrepreneurship activities to promote the culture, but at the same time to attract customers, to sell, to have a web presence, to be there visible not only in exhibitions, but also in the market, media, and other areas. In other words, managing a business is different than being creative. Because managing a business is more than just producing, is selling, and is reaching out to customers, refining, and ultimately making profit, and if you are a social business, having a good impact in society. There are two strategies. The first is the knowledge push market strategy. What does it mean? It means that if you have created something, you push it to the market rather than asking what the market wants. Let me give you one example. Chuck Hull is the inventor of 3D printing. At the later years, around 1939. He was born in 1939, but then he developed it later, his company, and he is the father of 3D printing. If he would have asked around, how can people be more creative or use their creativity in better ways, most probably the reply he would have received would have been, let's have better classes on creativity. Let's have better classes on entrepreneurship. Let's teach creativity, handcrafts, painting better. something like the picture you see on one side. However, his idea was different. His idea was to create a machine that is able to replicate what others can design in a 3D format, in a tangible format, something that can produce the product for us, rather than us having to bring together a group of people, processes, logistics, factories to do that. His idea was, rather than goods to be produced, designed in various locations, designed somewhere, assembled somewhere, shipped somewhere, and so on, everything could happen in one place. Not only in one place, through one single device, the 3D printer, the object you see on the other side. So he used his knowledge, his technical capabilities, his creative capabilities to give a solution to a problem in a way that we would not have thought, most of us would not have thought if we were asked. And that is called the knowledge push market. You believe in your radical creative innovation, you push it and you promote it until one day customers see value in it, understand it first of all, and start buying it. The other strategy is a need pull. I'm sure you know Elon Musk, and I'm sure you are familiar with roof tiles in houses and solar panels. Usually the two are combined separately. We put solar panels on top of the roof tiles to create energy and become independent from the energy grid. Elon Musk saw a need there. Rather than buying two separate products, fitting them separately, which is cost over cost, he thought, why not combine the two together? It is a need pull market strategy. And it works because, in a way, the needs are clear. What he did is combine them in an innovative way. This is more incremental innovation. If knowledge pushes radical innovation, usually a need pull market strategy to translate your creativity into a business opportunity is more incremental. So keep the two strategies in mind. How radical are you with your creativity? How much risk you want to take in your business? That will help you decide whether you will pursue a knowledge push creative entrepreneurship strategy or a need pull market strategy. To put this all together, it's all about your value proposition. What is value proposition? You are an entrepreneur, but you're also creative. And there are two sides. The first is the product side. Product offers benefits, features. You want to build a brand around your product. It gives an experience. The product is what you create. You perceive its value, you think it is valuable. But is it really valuable? For you, it might be. But how about the customers? Because for you, enough is not enough in the business world. How about the customers? Customers have wants. They have needs. They have fears. They have intentions to buy or not to buy. What they want or what they don't want. What they need and what they don't need. What they're afraid to do. And let's not forget, there are substitutes in the market. There are products that are similar to yours. They are competitors. And at the same time, there are many consumers, and consumers of different groups want different things. Consumers know about substitutes. Your role is to bring your value, the value of your product, the value of your creativity to the consumers, to help them fulfill their wants, their needs, reduce their fears, and act on their intentions. It is very important that their intention to buy is translated into action to buy. We will talk more about marketing for creative entrepreneurship in another lecture. So, to summarize, how can you win the Big Idea Challenge? Let's look at the criteria. First, the problem. Define what is the problem that you are trying to solve. Just because you have created something beautiful is not enough. It needs to address a want, a need, address a fear, something that the consumers want. What is the problem? Be very clear about it when you start. What is your target market? Who are your customers? How old are they? What is their level of income? Why would they want to buy it? Remember, it is not everybody. If you say you're targeting everybody, most probably nobody will buy it. What is your revenue model? Or in other words, how will you make money? Will you sell? Will your project be based on a subscription? Do you want to make it a social enterprise? Do you want to give something for free, then sell something that builds on it? Be very careful with the revenue model. Different revenue streams are allowed. Different customer groups can provide different revenue streams. Secondly, originality. What makes you different from the others? Why are you better than your competitors? Why do you need to be there in the market in the first place? Answering this question clearly will help you to stand out from the others. The next one is passion. Present passionately. Smile. Use your hands. Communicate well. So show that you really believe in your idea, in your business. Just presenting something, it is not enough. They need to see that you are passionate about it. We are human beings, and research shows that we connect better through our emotions than through our mind. Appeal to people's emotions by being passionate when you present your idea. Also, remember, if you're presenting to investors that would want to see your passion, that will get you through difficult times. The final bit, where you put all together, is the idea pitch. Can you create something and put your ideas together in a 60 seconds or so video pitch? You have to summarize everything briefly. You have to keep in mind addressing the problem, refining the target market, presenting the revenue model, how you are different, showing passion, and showing a good business opportunity. So, that was all. Remember, for this first lecture, how can you be creative? The emotional side or the engagement with the environment through logic and interaction, the two options and approaches. The two strategies, knowledge push for radical innovation or market pull for more incremental innovation, and the value proposition. These 5 concepts should help you address and create a creative entrepreneurship business better, and also address all the criteria to win the Big Idea Challenge. Thank you.